Morning. They stuck me up here again, so hope you can put up with it today.
So let's do something fun. If everyone doesn't have their speakers muted, as we say good morning to everyone and new hires introduce themselves, I thought it would be great if the whole company said welcome to all the new hires as they introduce themselves, if you guys are all okay with that. So let's start off with Vista. Good morning, Vista.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Should I stand up? Thank you. I'm Erica Gamino. I'm new at the Vista facility. Nice to meet everybody.
Welcome, Erica.
Thank you.
And good morning, LA.
Good morning.
We have a new person here. She can come and say hello to all of you.
Eva Dominguez, I'm the Director of Logistics and Compliance. Good to see everybody.
And Sacramento, good morning.
Good morning.
And I'm sorry, I skipped. Good morning, Fresno. Sorry.
Good morning. My coordinator,
Welcome, Durnest.
Welcome.
Good
Good morning.
morning, Portland.
Hi to Portland.
I started that with.
Hold on a second. Can you hear us?
We can hear you. Good morning.
Unfortunately, we can't.
Kevin's trying to introduce himself. He started today. Stand up again, Kevin.
Hi there, my name's Kevin. First day.
Welcome, Kevin. Good morning, Reno. Good morning. And good morning, Las Vegas. And Salt Lake, good morning.
and Shalise. I'm the new hire, Shalise Corey, the client coordinator.
Great.
Welcome, Shalise.
Welcome.
Good morning, Houston.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Houston, how's the weather down there? You okay?
A little wet.
No, I mean, it hasn't affected your place, has it?
No, sir, nothing. Has not.
Okay, great, because we were worried about you. Boy, it looks pretty
Thank
bad
you.
in part of the city there, I understand.
It is bad.
Yeah.
And good morning, North Carolina.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Keep me on my toes. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
All right. So we had a question come in, and the question was about in the times of building a career and the balance. How does one balance career and family and be successful at both? Your thoughts on that, Mr. Wilson?
Well, that's 5 years of psychology, and I can tell you the answer.
Just a light question.
But it's a little, and who says I'm successful? One of the things that we try to stress is that, every day is a gift in this life. We've been all given gifts. And if you don't take advantage of those gifts, it's your problem, because that's what we're all about. And I've been very lucky to find out early enough to know that I'm lucky because I have so many gifts. And I had to think in terms of what's important. Now, when you think of what's important, you have to realize that you yourself are very important, because then you can do things for others. If you're not in good health, and if you don't take care of yourself, you are in no position to help anybody else. And I was very lucky in a sense that because of my injury in the war and that, I had to start exercising when I was a young man. And so every morning to this day, I'm still exercising. And the funny thing is, by keeping my body in good shape, I'm in a position to help everything. And then when you can do that, you've got to realize that life goes on and you have obligations to other people. We're just not alone in this life. We have obligations to other people who you are very close to. So that if you become married, you now have a partnership. And one of the most important things is that you and your partner understand each other and understand what both of you are doing and why you're doing it. And time is very important with your partner, so that in terms of life, your life and her life, or her life and your life and his life, if you're, depending on how this works out. But anyway, I'm not belittling it, but I mean, it's very important that the two of you work as a team. And the most important thing in a partnership, which is I've told everybody, is when you're a wedding partnership and a marriage partnership, it's not 50-50.
I love that advice.
If you think that you only have to give 50%, then you shouldn't get married. You got to say, I'm going to do everything I can. And I don't care if my spouse may not quite think that way, but the fact is, I got into this marriage or this partnership because I was going to do everything I can to build this partnership. And you'll find if both of you feel that way, that it's not 50-50, it's 100% of your time and 100%. So that you got to realize that your family is the most important thing. You, your wife, when you have children, are terribly important. And so when you're deciding what you want to do in life, one of the things that you have, if you are married, is to realize that you must coordinate, you must work together. The other things are that life is, as I say, a gift. So you want to take advantage of that gift. You want to go, and when you decide that you're capable or do it, get as much education as you possibly can, because that gives you a break in your whole life, because it makes you feel that you've done something and accomplished something. And so I was very lucky. My brother insisted when I got out of the Army that I keep going to college. I went through it and became a lawyer. And it was wonderful when you think in terms of the fact that my family insisted, my brother, that I use my talents to become as educated as possible. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody should go to college. It just means that you take advantage of what you are. And the other thing about life is you have to decide you want to do something that you really enjoy doing. To me, it's very important that if you have a job, that when you go to work every day, you really like going to that job. It shouldn't be a burden. If that's a burden to you, then you're making a terrible mistake. You shouldn't do that. I don't care. Don't do something that you're really going to be unhappy with, because that destroys your whole life, believe it or not. You're not good with your wife, you're not good with anybody, because if you're unhappy every day you go to work, what have you accomplished? So that's terribly important. And it's terribly important that your spouse realizes the way you are, and if your spouse is working, you've got to understand what they're going through, and you want them to do what they want to do in life. It isn't all about you. It's all about once you're a partnership, it's about both of you and your family. And I think in our company, we very strongly stress the fact that it's important that you take care of your family. And you always think about what's happening. If there's an occasion that your family's there, it's more important to us that you attend that family situation than you attend our company. Company is important to you, terribly important, but nothing is as important as your family. And we feel very strongly about that. And I think you can, so we understand those things because every day is a gift. Take those gifts and use them. Otherwise, you're just wasting the greatest thing that the good Lord's given us, if you think in terms of that. So what I'm trying to say to you is that when you build your life, do things that makes your life worthwhile. And if you concentrate on that, I think you'd be successful. I don't care what you do. If you're the best carpenter in the world, what a wonderful thing. If you enjoy, if you're a big lover, what can I tell you? But that's another story. I gotta get back to that.
Lover of food and the arts.
Yeah, lover of the food and arts.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You pulled me out.
I shared your advice at a recent wedding about 50-50.
Yeah.
And so I was at a wedding last month, a young couple, and I shared that with them. And the look on their face, they both appreciated it. And they said, wait a minute, so all along, everyone's been saying 50-50. You're kind of blowing that up. And then I shared the backstory, which is, and I have personal example where there's been times where I was, 80-20 and thinking, wait a minute, this is out of balance. And then I remember those words, and 2 weeks later, I'm traveling and my wife is doing everything. So that's great advice, and I shared that with this couple, and it meant a lot to them.
Well, as I say, life, there's a lot of terrible things. Everybody has a pack to bear. Sickness, everybody's got problems. I don't care who they are. The richest guy in the world has got problems. Everybody has problems. And if you look at very closely, you wouldn't change your problems for their problems because you know your own. And so don't keep looking at this guy, oh, he's a billionaire, so what? That billionaire's probably got more problems than you think. And if he's it's just crazy when you start thinking about it. You've got a great life, it was given to you, and you take advantage of what makes you happy and your family happy. And that's a gift that only you've got. They can't take your gift away from you. That's your gift.
And that balance comes from that feeling.
That balances out pretty well. So I just want to, I shouldn't be philosophizing here, but I like to get back to other things. But, that is life. And I think that one of the things that I've been lucky enough to do is to enjoy doing what I wanted to do in life. And one of the great things about being involved in a business like this is we have wonderful people. I feel that I'm contributing to their happiness as well as mine. And that's another thing, is it isn't just your family, it's your community. If you don't spend time with your community and understand that you are part of a bigger thing, then you're foolish. Because you get so much more when you're part of a community. It's part of that enjoyment of doing things, going on vacations with people or doing things together. And be sure and realize that you're not alone. You have obligations to the world, whether you like it or not. When you were put down here, you weren't here just to live for yourself. Because if you want to do that, then go up the mountain forget it, you know.
We're going to talk about the mountain.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that pretty well sums up what I'm trying to say. I hope I haven't bored you, but that's the way it goes.
So summer's around the corner, and we were talking about summer and different things that people do on their summers and how they enjoy their summers. And I was asking you if there were any summers that stood out. And I learned something that I didn't know before, and that was that Mr. Wilson was a Boy Scout when he was younger. And so we talked about your Scout days and your summer. If you want to share some of that.
Well,
Troop number.
Salt Lake High. Where are you, Salt Lake? I belong to Troop 2. I don't even know if it still exists, 17th Ward of Latter-day Saints. And it was the oldest troop west of the Mississippi at that time. And I became a senior patrol, I think I was a senior patrol leader. And I had my star. I think I got my life too, and enjoyed it. But I was working and with my paper route and things for that. But my mother insisted that I had an opportunity to go for a week's camping with the troop, and my brother got to go with me too. So the two of us were lucky in the Scouts. We went up in the high Uinta Mountains, and we hiked into the lakes up there, and we sat by a lake there. I don't remember what it was, but we fished. And in those days, when you fish, you caught your fish to eat, not to throw back in the water.
So the city kid is asking these questions, and so I said, "Did you eat the fish?"
Of course. Anyway, it was one of the great summers because I had a week off, and I've never forgotten that the high in the mountains. And you learn in the Boy Scouts so many ways of getting things done and how to tie knots, how to camp, how to live. And it stood me in good stead because I was in the infantry, as you know, as a lead scout intelligence reconnaissance platoon. So a lot of the reconnaissance training, I'd already learned a lot because I was a Boy Scout. So it was a great thing. So I enjoyed that stuff.
I loved your reaction when the city kid again. I said, "So were there bathrooms up there?"
Yeah, sure. A little different kind.
And we talked about the badges. You couldn't remember how many, but there were several.
No, I don't remember. You get to be a scout. I think for a star, you had to have 5 merit badges in those days. And before that, incidentally, I was the Mormon church at that time had trailblazers. They don't have them anymore, but I was a trailblazer and got all of I got the highest there. I had little things, little badges.
Nice. So you talked about sense of community earlier,
Yeah, right.
right? So I have a surprise.
Yeah.
I'll share this with you in a second.
Oh my God. Oh, it's terrific. Who is it?
So the kid with number 2 is you, and then that's your brother, and then so this was published in a paper, and so this is your troop, and you're delivering toys and food to the needy, and the local paper captured it. Here, I'll show it to the camera. So I did this earlier. Can you all see that?
Post that on the Insider.
Yeah, we'll post it up, but you can see it. And the kid with number 2 on his back is Mr. Wilson when he was a troop. You can share that. So that was you and your Boy Scouts. Your brother was a good... I have my resources. Your brother was a good-looking kid.
He was handsome. They used him in the World War II. He was a pilot, and they used him in advertising. He was terrific.
famous.
Yeah, he was terrific.
All right. Well, that's about our time. We'll see you all next month.
Sorry, I didn't spend so much time. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Angel.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.